They told me for years there was no money in podcasting. Well, they were all wrong.
Is Queens and Brooklyn part of Long Island? And I've lived in New York, so I have an opinion on this. And it's kind of, it's two-sided.
No, it's not. Of course it's part of Long Island. Of course it's...
All
right. Give me a definition of island. I'll tell you. It is a piece of land surrounded by water on all sides. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Christian. I'm not a geologist here, but Queens and Brooklyn are attached to Nassau County, which is part of Long Island.
All right, but you have to be clear on what you're defining as a part of.
I mean, it's connected
because man has drawn lines on a map.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's like saying that New Jersey and New York and the rest of the Union are all one state. You know, there are lines that are drawn on the map.
If you really want to break it down, Christian, all of North America is one giant island.
Exactly.
Because of the Panama Canal.
So I'm saying,
even
if you're going to go off the definition of just like because it's surrounded by water.
Yeah, it is. But
at the same time, there's lines drawn on the map. New Jersey and New York are not one and the same because they're attached to each other.
It's still part of the same island. That's like saying, okay, Nebraska isn't part of the United States because of different lines. No, it's still part of the same line. It's still part of the same landmass. Like Cape Cod is an island. It's not a peninsula. It's an island. You cross a bridge to fucking get there. All right, it's an island. Right?
No, I hear you on this.
There's no river. There's no river between Nassau County. There's no river between Jamaica, Queens, and whatever's next, like Hyde Park, right? New Hyde Park. It's connected to the island. And I understand why you don't want to be associated with Long Island. Long Island sucks, all right? I get it. But you're still part of New York City, all right? You're still part of the city. But that part of the city is part of Long Island.
Agreed.
Sorry, it is. All right? Like, if we're going textbook definition of an island,
I mean, it's just like they are separate together. They're separate together.
No, they're not. They're not. They're part of Long Island. I mean, it can be both, but they're not. Pardon the bad phrase here. Separate but equal.
I was thinking that.
They're not separate but equal. All right, they're just equal. They're just equal. It's New York City, and it's part of Long Island.
But there are things that people do, like as a person who's lived in New York City, living in Queens, and knowing native that it's important. It's important to note that the natives also say this as well. They say, "I'm going to the city." You're already in the city. Mm-hmm. You're in Queens. You're part of New York City. But people say that they're in the city. So my argument is, although it's a loose one, it's hanging on by a thread.
I see where you're going here, Christian. But
you're not going to be in Brooklyn and say I'm in Long Island.
No, but fortunately, cultural differences have nothing to do with the definition of what an island is. Like, just because you don't want it to be part of Long Island doesn't make it part. You can't identify as not being an island. Like, that's not how it works.
We're in the age of identification,
right? I mean, you can identify as man, woman, or anything in between.
I am a Brooklynite,
but you can't identify as not an island.
You, sir, are on an island.
It fits the definition of island.
That's a fun one. That's a fun one.
Yeah, if you really want to blow someone's mind, be like, hey, is Kansas an island?
Kansas.
Is Kansas an island? Now, that's the difference, because Kansas itself is not an island, but Kansas is on an island.
Educate the people. So,
North America, all the United States, if you include Canada, all of South Mexico, all those other countries I don't remember, it's split by the Panama Canal. And yes, that's man-made, so fine. We can scratch that for all consideration. Also, the Cape Cod Canal is also man-made. So, for sake of argument, it's surrounded by water north on Canada It's surrounded by water along the East Coast and the West Coast. It's surrounded by water along the Mexican coast. It's surrounded by water against all those other countries, and it's surrounded by water underneath Panama. So you take all of North America, it's one giant motherfucking island. Like all 7 continents. Actually, Europe isn't, because Europe's connected to Asia. But Europe and Asia is all one giant island. Australia, giant island. Like India, part of a giant island. All the Antarctica's a giant island.
We kind of gotten to a point where we just make up shit.
Yeah, of course. New Jersey, guess what, Christian? We live on an island.
Definitely do. It's
Now,
gonna take you a long time to get to the other side.
Yeah.
Well,
long-ass time.
not on our side, but to get to the other side.
New Jersey itself is not an island, but New Jersey is on an island. Next question.